Let's bring in Katrina Pearson, former Trump 2016 campaign spokesperson. Good to see you, Katrina.
Great to be here, Liz.
You know, Katrina, you remember this. Even Democrat Senator Chuck Schumer called out Hillary. He said, you know, take responsibility for your loss. Here's what he told Washington Post, quote, when you lose to somebody who has 40% popularity, you don't blame other things. You don't blame Comey or Russia. You blame yourself. People did not know what we stood for, just that we were against Trump. What is Hillary gaining from this?
Well, you know, it's that old saying that, you know, we all have this annoying friend, and if you don't have one, it's probably you. And that's what happened here in the case of Hillary Clinton. I mean, her biggest complaint about Donald Trump is that he inspired millions of people. Then what does that say about you? And it wasn't just white Americans, as the left, and the media like to push, but we're talking about, you know, 5 percentage points of black Americans that didn't support her, that actually came out and turned out for President Trump. All those Latino Americans that turned out and supported President Trump. And that is because he did inspire millions of people. He turned blue states red because he ran a campaign on the economy, bringing back jobs, having people keep more of their money, draining the swamp and the corruption that lies right here in D.C. That is inspiring. Hillary Clinton lacks inspiration and even personality. She didn't even connect with people, but more importantly, she didn't even go and visit with some of those people, the people that she claimed to be representing. And it's really unfortunate that she has sort of missed that opportunity.
Yeah, you know, the turning point was when she called the Trump voters irredeemable, when, as it's been pointed out, the world's major religions say everyone's redeemable. I mean, how can you say that? But Katrina, we're going to show on the screen a long list of the things that Hillary blames for her loss: sexism, Russia, political journalists, Comey, the Electoral College, blames Obama, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, Anthony Weiner, even the New York Times. But Katrina, what's missing here is that debate scandal with Donna Brazile cheating on her behalf at CNN. Why do you think that's missing from the book?
Well, because then she'd have to admit that she was lying, cheating, and essentially trying to steal the nomination, more or less the general election. But this is a huge ego problem. This is an elitist attitude. Someone who thinks that they're better than everyone else clearly cannot see the fault in themselves. So, of course, she's going to continue to point fingers. Everyone knows that she was the problem, with the exception of herself, which is probably why booksellers have now slashed the price of her book, because they've already seen it all. They've seen the finger pointing. They've seen the blame game. They've seen the name calling. So now you can just get it all on paperback for less than $19.99.
Clinton laments how Benghazi tragedy hurt her politically. Hillary Clinton seemed to add Benghazi to her already long list of culprits to blame for her upset loss to Donald Trump last November, on the heels of the 5-year anniversary of the terror attack. In her first live interview since the election timed with the release of her new memoir What Happened, Clinton on Wednesday brought up the controversy over the Benghazi terror attack in response to a question about her likability. Clinton said she was unfairly criticized, even suggesting the incident was no different than past tragedies dating back to the Reagan administration. Take the Benghazi tragedy. I know. I have one of the top Republicans, Kevin McCarthy, admitting we're going to take that tragedy because, you know, we've lost people, unfortunately. Going back to the Reagan administration, if you talk about recent times, in diplomatic attacks, Clinton told Matt Lauer and Savannah Guthrie on NBC's Today, but boy, it was turned into a political football. And it was aimed at undermining my credibility, my record, my accomplishments. Clinton's reference to House Majority Leader McCarthy was an apparent swipe at his 2015 boast that the Benghazi committee was hurting Clinton politically. And her mention of Reagan administration-era attacks was likely a reference to the bombing of the U.S. Embassy in Beirut, in which 17 Americans were killed. However, the criticism of the Obama administration after the 2012 Benghazi attack, in which 4 Americans were killed, was based on several factors. Specifically, the Clinton State Department was faulted for ignoring security concerns in the run-up to the attack, contributing to the poor defense posture at the post. The Accountability Review Board that examined the tragedy concluded there were systemic failures in leadership and management deficiencies at senior levels at the department that resulted in a special mission security posture that was inadequate for Benghazi and grossly inadequate to deal with the attack that took place. Fox News also reported Tuesday that contractors said they were pressured to stay quiet about security lapses by the State Department. Former Rep. Jason Chaffetz, argued a now a Fox News contributor, who investigated Clinton's handling of the attack when in Congress, told Fox News her comments Wednesday were heartless. It is disgusting for her to downplay it, and I think that the American people knew it. She did nothing about it at the time, and this tragedy was entirely preventable, except her State Department was inept in protecting Americans in Benghazi, Chaffetz told Fox News. I am sure she can't even look in the mirror and face the fact that, on her watch, they lost for Americans, and it's disgusting she can't live up to it, even today. Clinton's State Department silenced them on Benghazi security lapses, contractors say. Chaffetz noted that during the time of congressional probes into the handling of the terror attack, she infamously said, "What difference at this point does it make about the assault's origin?" I think she really did believe that, Chaffetz said. She showed today that her comment about what difference does it make was truly how she felt. The uncle of Foreign Service officer Sean Smith, who was killed in Benghazi, also criticized her comments. She's been in plausible deniability about Benghazi ever since it happened, Michael Ingmeyer told Fox News. She was standing, basically before the coffins of Americans, blaming a horrible anti-Islamic video, but she's just being consistent with her psychosis. The liar, the criminal, the crooked politician, those are the three faces of Hillary. Following her Benghazi comments in Wednesday's interview, Clinton pivoted to warn Americans about the threat the right poses to the United States. The idea among some that I really do take seriously is the threat posed by the right to this country, Clinton said, pointing to conservatives as another factor for her loss. To our economic equality, to our civil rights, take it really seriously. It's not just a political issue for me, and they are constantly trying to undermine me. Clinton, in her memoir and in media appearances promoting it, has taken some blame for her loss while also casting blame on a broadcast of figures and forces, including former FBI Director James Comey, Russia, primary rival Bernie Sanders and more. Matt Lauer asked Clinton whether she thought she made enough mistakes on her own to lose the election. I will say no, Matt, Clinton said. This book has a lot of behind-the-scenes looks at what it's like to run for president, particularly as a woman.